Hey guys, so for today's experiment, we're going to work on friction. Okay, friction is a force, is an opposite force. It goes against the direction that you're moving. So if you guys are going to the right, friction is actually pushing against you or pulling against you to the opposite direction, which would be the left. Okay, so in order for us to do this experiment, we need to test out this little toy car, and we're gonna see how does friction affect the different surfaces that we are gonna go ahead and test on today. So today we have sand. So I made a track made of nothing but sand. We're gonna use a table as another surface, and then finally we're gonna use a carpet, okay, as our surface. So these three surfaces, they have different friction, okay, based on how they feel, and then based on the texture that it has, okay. So I want you guys to start thinking and predicting which surface do you think would have the most friction. That's my question for today. Remember, friction is the ability to stop you. If you're going forward, as it's going forward, friction is going the opposite way. And when it goes the opposite way, it slows the car down, right? So the more friction, the more the car slows down. The less friction, the less the car slows down. So in a world where there is no friction, what do you think would happen? If this car was moving forward and there is no friction to stop the car, what do you predict will happen? Okay, those are the questions that I want you to start thinking about, guys. And then what if in the world of friction, there was a lot of friction everywhere you go? How would that look like? Okay, so based on those questions, I want you to start thinking about that. Okay, so here we have the experiment. I'm gonna roll down the car, down this ramp that I pre-made, okay, and we're gonna measure the distance in centimeters. Okay, the distance in centimeters. How far did the car travel? Now, based on that data, the car that travels the most, we are going to assume that it has less friction. The car that travels the least amount, we're going to assume that one has the most friction. Okay? So go ahead and start thinking and hypothesizing which surface, either the sand, the table, or the carpet, will be the one that has the most friction. All right, so I'll let you do that. Okay, what we're gonna do is we're going to go ahead and put the ruler here, and let's go ahead and have a table set up. So we're gonna test it out about 3 times, okay? Each time we're gonna measure, and then you guys can write it down. All right, here we go. We're gonna test out the sand first, then the table, followed by the carpet. Okay, let's take notes. Here we go. Car in 3, on the carpet, on the sand in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so the car traveled about 10 centimeters in distance, okay, 10 centimeters. Let's go ahead and test it out again. In 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so this time it traveled about 13, 14 centimeters. All right, so the first trial was 10, the second trial was 14. All right, and let's do it one more time. Remember, we are doing repeated trials here as well. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, and this time it traveled 12 centimeters, okay? That's how far it traveled, okay? So based on this data, what do you guys notice? What do you guys see? Did the car travel really far on sand? Okay, very good. Now, we're gonna go ahead and move to the next track, which is going to be the table, okay? For the table, I am gonna move the camera a little bit in an angle, just because I am going to assume it's going to travel a little bit further, because that was my hypothesis. I'm assuming that the car will travel further on the table. Here we go. Let's test it out in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so as you can see, the car is all the way over here. Let me go ahead and get my measuring going. So I have 50 plus 40. That gives us 90 centimeters in distance, okay? Let's try it one more time. 90 centimeters. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, this one went a little bit further. It went 96 centimeters. 96 centimeters, okay? And then we're gonna do it one more time. Remember, 3 times the charm. And this time it went to 92. All right, so it definitely is traveling further when there is nothing that's stopping it, okay? So on the table, it's really smooth, and there's really no bumps that is slowing it down compared to the sand, okay? So far the sand has the most friction. Is that what you guys predicted? All right, now let's do our final section, and it's going to be on the carpet. All right, so those that said carpet is the one that has the most friction. Let's test that out. All right, here we go. We're going to have the measuring here. We're going to see, and let me put a little bit over here in case it does go a little bit further. All right, and we're gonna test the car in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so the car traveled 26 centimeters. 26 centimeters. Let's do it one more time. This time it traveled 28. And then finally, our last time, 26 again. Okay. So with our data, we have the sand traveling the least at the sand was traveling at about 13 centimeters. We then have the carpet that was traveling at about 27, 28 centimeters in distance. And finally, our longest distance traveled was the one on the table, which traveled over 90 centimeters. Okay, so looking at our data, based on our data, what can you guys conclude? What do you think caused this? We know that friction slows things down, okay? Because again, it's the opposite force. It's the opposite force. So whenever you have so much opposite force, it does create that heat. So if you guys go ahead and do this real quick, do it for a good 10, 20 seconds. You're gonna start feeling heat on your hand. That heat is actually friction, okay? Is the energy that is the force that's slowing each hand down as it passed by each other, okay? All right, so friction was the main cause of this experiment. Friction slows things down whenever they're moving. Like when you play soccer and you kick the ball and you pass it as hard as you can, eventually it will stop, okay? Why? Because the grass has friction, okay? It goes against the ball and the ball will stop, okay? When you're playing bowling, when you bowl, okay, that ball goes very smoothly and it goes as fast and as hard as it can, but then eventually when it hits the pins, it stops or slows down, okay? But that one has less friction than grass because the ball rolls a lot more and it would probably roll for a longer distance, all right? So yes, your conclusion should be that the sand was the one that has the most friction, okay? The sand has the most friction, and then the one that has the least friction is the table, where there's very smooth and it doesn't have much things to stop it. Okay, so here it is again. We have, we have our sand which has more friction. Again, it's rough. Our smooth table, and then our carpet was second place. Okay. All right, guys. I really hope you enjoy this video. Please give it a like and share, and then we'll get our page up, and then make sure you watch any other YouTube videos that I made. Okay, you can always review and go back to them. Okay, so there's no you're not gonna get in trouble for watching more of the videos that we made. Okay, all right, guys. So I will see you guys next time. Have a great day. Bye bye.